Hi everyone, I'm Salima. Welcome to this mom's kitchen. Today we're going to be making sev or sevviyan. It's a sweet vermicelli dessert that's made on special occasions. It contains very basic ingredients that you probably have in your pantry already. I'm going to go over the ingredients right now with you and then we'll get started. First, you need one package of vermicelli. Then you're gonna need about a quarter cup of your favorite chopped nuts. I used here almonds, a little bit of pistachios and cashews. Then you're gonna need 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use 1.5 or 2 tablespoons of rose water. This is completely optional. If you don't have rose water, don't worry about it. This is what it looks like. But like I said, that's completely optional. You're gonna need about 1 teaspoon or 1.5 if you like cardamom powder. You can also use fresh cardamom pods. Just make sure you crush them up really nicely when it's time to put it in. You're gonna need about 1.5 cups of hot water. And today I'm using 1/2 cup of sugar. You can use 1/4 cup of sugar all the way up to 1 cup of sugar. It just depends on how sweet you want this dessert to be. For me, I find 1/2 cup is good enough. I don't like it too sweet, so 1/2 cup today for us. So we're gonna get to the stove and get started. Okay everyone, the first step is going to be breaking up the vermicelli in its package. I find doing this really helps not to create a big mess when you're trying to break it up in the pot. So just crush it up with your hands. Make them really tiny pieces. Not super tiny, but they shouldn't be long. This is fun. Break them up. You can even tell a kid to do this. If you have kids at home, just give them this job to do. It's fun. There we go, nice and crushed up. All right, just like that, okay? Then we're gonna put the stove to medium-low. And you're gonna add just 1 tablespoon of butter right now. We're gonna let this melt. Okay, so the butter is melted. We're gonna add in 1/4 cup of our chopped nuts. You're just gonna lightly toast these. Make sure not to burn them. They burn really fast. Just lightly toast, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Okay, so the nuts are nice and toasted right now. It took me about 3 to 4 minutes to get that done. We're gonna just put them on a plate right now because we don't need these until a little later. All right, so the pot goes back on the stove. We're gonna add the remaining 3 tablespoons of butter and let that melt. The stove should be now on medium. All right. So the butter is now melted. We're gonna add in our broken up vermicelli or sev. It still might fly everywhere, so be careful. So with the sev in the butter, all you want to do is just make sure it's nice and coated. Just stir it a bit, make sure all the butter is all over the sev. We're gonna cook this for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. So it's been about 2 to 3 minutes of me roasting the vermicelli. You can see the color is a little bit darker. At this point, I'm gonna add the sugar and the water. So I'm adding 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of water. Now be very careful at this stage because it will splutter, so just be very gentle. Have your spatula or spoon ready. Hear that? All right, so the water is in. We're gonna give that a good mix. Okay, so the sugar and the water are in here. We're gonna add in rose water. Like I said, that's completely optional. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. And the cardamom, fresh or ground cardamom. You can even actually saute the cardamom when you were sauteing the nuts and then take them all out, okay? Give that a good mix. Now I'm gonna add the nuts back in at this point. We're gonna have some chopped nuts aside for garnish, but right now we're gonna add all the toasted nuts in. So add this back in. Give it a good mix. And now it's just a waiting game. I'm gonna put the cover back on and we're gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes. It should absorb all the water. We're gonna check back in 10 minutes and see where we stand. If we need to, simmer it a little more, we'll do that at that point. But for now, let's turn the heat down to low. Get the lid on, and we'll meet you back in 10. So it's been 10 minutes now. We're gonna open the lid and check. Let's see. All right, so you can see the water has been absorbed. I do like the way this looks. I'm gonna give it an extra 5 more minutes and then we're gonna fluff it with the fork, okay? So just like this. Don't mix it too much, otherwise it's gonna get mushy. Let it be. It needs maybe about 5 more minutes and we'll check it then again. Okay, so it's been an additional 5 minutes. Let's open the lid. There we go. This is what we wanna see. You're gonna take a fork, you're gonna just fluff it. There we go. It's fully cooked, it's not mushy. I'm just gonna plate it and we're gonna give it a taste test. So I've dished out the save in a plate. We're gonna garnish it with extra nuts. This is completely optional, but I like extra nuts on mine, so I'm gonna garnish that. And then let's give it a try. It's really hot, so let's do this. Not mushy. Ooh, hot. And the perfect amount of sweetness. So like I said, for us, half a cup of sugar is enough. If you want to add more, add more. If you want to add less, do that. But I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you make it for a special occasion, maybe for Navroz, for Kushali, any birthday celebrations. Do give it a try, and if you do, show me on Instagram. Post it, send me a picture, whatever you want. And follow me for more recipes. See you soon.